Hello guys, I came back. I actually didn't want to do it, but I decided so. We're going to watch the Bitcoin dump because it is time to dump. So it's already starting to figure out how to get out of the channel. And I'm actually trading this. So yeah, that's basically what's going on. I just made a video, I made a live stream, but I really didn't want it to let the opportunity pass for people to see this dump live. Wait, what's this one? Change the colors so that people can actually see the fib circles here. Yeah, that's the cycle, guys. It started on the 7th, lasted through all this time. Now it's time for an end, and the end is the dump. So we're going back at least to the previous levels of the pump. If we are going to continue the downtrend, we will retrace further, but we will see. That I don't know. What I do know is that it's going to dump. Oh yeah, that's what I know. So like we can start to see here, it hasn't started to make lower lows yet, but it will pretty soon. That's what I believe. It's actually fighting right now to get out of this fib circle here. So it's fighting to get away from this ring. I guess it doesn't want to dump inside of this one, so I can only guess that it will get out and dump from here or so. At least from the cycle, because Bitcoin goes through many cycles, throughout the day, making in some cycles making higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, higher lows, lower lows. So it depends. It changes all the time, the pace and everything else. It's all part of the ticker. So what Bitcoin is doing right now. So yeah. It just wants to dump, so it's I think right now it's trying to figure out how it's going to do that. So we can see that this fib circle is strong support. So let's put out the chat if anyone is actually watching. I don't know if anyone is actually watching. My channel is not that big, so I don't have much followings, but at least I want to document this. I don't know for how long I'll be on, but yeah, I want to share this time of the dump, because it will dump. So let's continue to watch. I'll rather put it on the 1 minute, because at least I know what is happening in real life. Because if I put it in the 5 minutes is actually also good. So we can actually see the flip circle, and we can see the dumps and the pumps. You know, that's what Bitcoin does. It always pumps and dumps and dumps and pumps and pumps and dumps. I would like to put some music here, but you know, like we all know, we can't put music because of copyright shit. You know, it's stupid. Oh yeah, and now I'm actually starting to see. So Bitcoin actually respected this fib circle as well, because I made a lot of them in other cycles, and it comes back to all of this. You know, this is all Fibonacci retracement is always has to do with the same, man. So lower highs, lower lows, a lower high. So when it breaks out, yeah, I guess it doesn't want to break out. It just wants to go straight down. It just wants to go straight down, downhill, bad. So the only thing that I have to be careful about is I have to time this, because, you know, although it wants to go down, it will continue to move its higher lows. So we have to be careful when the dump waves are over and the pump waves start. Although I don't think they will last much, but I still don't know if the cycle has already happened. So it has already started, I mean. First, it needs to get off this fib, because it's not going to accomplish anything in it. And the reason because it wants to get out of this is because I think that this fib circle, like we can see, it's still around here, and maybe because of it, it knows that it can't dump as long as this fib circle is around here. So it will stop like I believe it's already doing right now. So it stopped. It's staying here. It can't go high. It can't go higher. It can't get out of here. So it has to stop. Let the time pass, and then decide its path. So I believe it will exhaust time. Maybe it still will have a little pump in here. I don't know if I entered this trade too early. Maybe I did. What? It only lets me. put on conditional orders or whatever. Get it. So we had a dump, pump, dump. So after this ring, we're going to have a small pump or a big pump. I don't know. But I'm still figuring it out if this is the cycle that Bitcoin is in right now. So. I don't know if anyone is actually watching. If anyone is watching, just give me a shout out, guys. I'll put the chat in here. So it stopped in there. It's basically waiting. So I'm actually going to close this position. It was a small position, so I will not bother myself with it, because I still have to understand if it really is dumping time. But I believe the time has come for the dump to come. So I still start trying to understand. If this is the dumping time, but first we need to get off this fib circle here. So and then we can see. So we will take about, I don't know, we will be out of it in about 8 minutes. We'll be out of this ring. So it can go up because it's clear that it's not going anywhere in this ring, so it has to get up. It has to get out of it. So it has to get out to make the move. Inside of it, it's not going to happen. No, because I'm still learning how this all works. But we had a dump, right? So we had dump, pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump. So I believe that after this ring, we're going to have a little pump, and then we will see if we are in the dropping. But we will know more in about eight minutes, more or less. 8 minutes for the moment of truth. But Bitcoin will dump. That I have absolutely zero doubts about that, because the cycle has to complete. This cycle needs to get to an end. This cycle here. It started June 7th, and it has to end. Retracing back or even further. So, like we can see, it's already trying to. So, it's going to happen. I have absolutely zero doubts about that. So the cycle, a cycle lasts from 2 to 3 days. We're already in it for 3 days, I believe. So the cycle is exhausted. It has to dump to complete the cycle and then go to another one. That's what the markets do. Like we can see here, it's trying to break that fib. We still have a little bit of time. For a smoke, so I'll let this up on the 30-minute, so you can take a look at the bigger picture here. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let's go back to the 1 minute. Look at this, guys. It wants to go so bad, it's incredible, man. Next candle counts. It wants to go bad, man. It's out. One of the best indicators you can use is the OBV, you know. When it's going down, it wants to pump bad. And this is a classical bearish indicator, man. I can't find the name for it right now, but it's classical bearish, so this is going to dump hard. Dump that fake Bitcoin. Yep. Hello, Max Mix. Someone is actually on the chat. Great. So, from what I understand, Bitcoin is about to dump, guys. It's just inevitable. Inevitable. I was talking about the OBV. You know, when the OBV is going down like this, it's really, well, right now it's not much because it's not dumping. It's just trying to figure out what it's going to do, but you know, it's basically a given that it's going to dump. Some buying pressure right now. So my first targets is the retracement. The retracement to from the pump started. So we're going at least 9,365 at least, you know. If we continue to dump further, we will see. Yep, I guess Bitcoin or the ticker right now will stay around here because that ring here is actually offering some resistance, if I'm not mistaken. So this ring here was strong support. It really didn't want it. It didn't want it to go any of the rings, basically, so it went this one because of the pump that was made. But yeah, it's ready to drop, and it's just taking its time, finding the timing, the right timing for itself to dump. So right now it's basically gaining momentum. Like we can see here, the OBV on balance volume, you know, it continuously is going down, and when this goes down like this, it means that a dump is about to happen. And the same in the inverse. When the OBV, when this little yellow line starts to go up massively, you know, a pump is incoming, you know. I've seen it. It's incredible. When this OBV ticker or oscillator, man, starts to go up like crazy, like we saw. Let me see if I find when it went ballistic. Oh yeah, I know a place. You know, take a look when Bitcoin went to 941. Look at the OBV, how it started to build from here, you know. And I actually caught that. I caught that here. So it started to go, started to gain, and of course it hit the maximal level and it dumped. And then the bigger dump. Let's see where it is. Yeah, the bigger pump and dump. So the OBV was already having a lot of volume. So let me see if I can retrace this even further. So the OBV was already in heavy demand. Let me see here. Yep. So we have this drop here. Do you see the drop? And the OBV is dumping down. What happened after this dump? A pump. It came. That's what it does. It pumps and it dumps. It dumps and it pumps. It's always the never-ending cycle. So we had, after this massive loss of volume, it went up, it pumped, it went down again. You know, as it continued to go down, it started to lose weakness. You know, lost weakness, and it continued to dump. And here was, when you see this massive valley here, that was the biggest dump. What happened after the dump? It went sideways a little bit, it dumped a little bit more, then up. That's what it does. That's Bitcoin. Bitcoin and every ticker, man. The thing is, I have checked some tickers. I have checked the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones is really people like to talk that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency are manipulated, but Jesus, the Dow, the stock market, stock market is way worse, way worse. It's actually incredible how bad it is. The stock market, you know. No, because the bottom line is, from what I understand, nobody can manipulate Bitcoin. You can,
manipulated it a little bit by giving it cookies. And what are the cookies? Buy and sell orders, volume. That's what it wants. Because if you give them cookies, if you give him buy and sell orders, he goes massively up and massively down. But after all it's said and done, it will continue to do its pass. And if the ticker doesn't want to break a barrier, he will not break a barrier, because it's a resistance, and it doesn't matter how much money people throw into it, it will not happen. People believe that it's the exchanges that are doing that, but it's not. It's really not. So it's gaining momentum right now. Maybe it's still early, and maybe it's still early and waiting for the Americans, to get in and to be part of the action. What's OBV? OBV, it's this thing here. It's this indicator. It's an on-balance volume indicator. It indicates the volume. When there's a lot of volume, this little yellow line starts to go up like crazy. Like, I don't know if you saw what the example that I was showing. It starts to go up like a motherfucker. And when it starts to dump like a motherfucker, it means that, yeah, dumping time. So right now, it's not too bad, because there's actually a little bit of buying pressure as well. So selling pressure brings it down, buying pressure, like we can see here in the volume candles. Selling pressure brings it down, buying pressure brings it up. So 2 a.m. in Europe. Yeah, it depends. It depends, because Bitcoin, or the ticker, it has its cycles, man. The times, sometimes it pumps and it dumps, and the markets go crazy at some outrageous times. But that's just how it is, man. That's just how it is. Yeah, of course, volume is king in that regards. Homo sapiens. That's how that volume of course, volume, accelerates the speed of the upside or the downside. That's like I said with the cookies. Bitcoin wants cookies. Cookies makes it go faster to the upside or the downside. Let me show you the bigger picture here. So this is the bigger picture. This is the bigger picture. This is the cycle we're in, and it's about to end when it dumps. You have this, you had all this, and now it's time to end it. So I guess it's waiting for a lot more volume. How low it can go, I don't know. But one thing will happen for sure. It will retrace exactly to the same place we start. I will not guarantee that. Let's say I'm 99% of that. I'm not going to say 100%, because I can still fail. But 99.9% certain that it will go back to the 9,356. If it continues to dump, that's left to be seen. But yeah, if someone is actually in the market, and if you want to trade it, I would sell the hell out of it, guys, because it's going down. Nothing is going to stop it. The cycle has to end. Why am I talking about cycles? But because they're infinite. One ends and another begins. Let's see the last one before this one. See this one? This was the last cycle. Shit, I So like I was saying, this was the last cycle. So this here is when the trend, when this cycle started, right here, after that massive pump and dump, which is the other one that I'm showing. So this cycle started right here with this pump, went, reached the top, and then dump. And this was the next one. The one we're in right now. What was the previous one? The previous one was the big pump and dump to $10,000. Here it is. Here it is. So we can say it actually started even all this move here is part of the same, I think. But let's just focus on this. You can say that it started here, you can say that it started here. Just for, you know, for representation's sake. Let's say it happened here. So, pump. That's a cycle, guys. It always pumps and dumps, and it always has to go to the same level. Depending on the trend, if you're in a bear trend or a bullish trend, it doesn't matter, you know. It always pumps and dumps on the 30-minute, on the 4-hour, on the daily, on the weekly, on the monthly, and on the minute. It always pumps and dumps. Look, pump, dump, little pump, little dump, sideways, nothing, little pump, sideways, nothing, dump. So this was part of one move. Dumped here, pumped a little bit, dumped, pumped, dumped, or we can consider this move done after this pump here. So let's not make it too complicated. But that's what Bitcoin does, and what all the markets in the world do. They pump and they dump, pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, pump, dump. Damn, I was stumped out. I think. I'm sure. No, not yet. Yeah, so after this pump, that's what was my indecision about this trade, is to understand if it was going to pump after it went away from this Fibonacci ring. So it pumped, it's dumping. I don't know how big this pump will be, but if we are in the downtrend and if it's going to dump, we're going to see massive lower lows, and depends on the speed that it's going to dump, you know. So if this is the top right here, which could actually be the case, if this is the top right here, yeah, it's getting ready. I don't know if that is the case. And there was a removed message, I don't know why, from MaxMix. Anybody want to ask something, want to, you know, if I can help with something, you know, I know a little bit of TA, I know about candlesticks, I know about Fibonacci, I know a lot of stuff. What I'm still learning, what I still don't know, or I'm trying to figure out is trading. But it's so easy when you understand these patterns, you know. It's really the complication. It's all in our minds, and after you start to see this kind of picture with the fib lines, you know, it's easy. The only thing you have to do is to figure out as close as possible the highs and the lows to make a counter trade, because after a pump like this, and especially when you have it drawn like here, you know where the resistance and supports are. So all you have to do is, so it reached here, just wait for the dump. It will pump here. It dumped, it went down here, so it went a little bit down as well. And now I don't know if this pump is over, if it's going to continue, if it's going still a bit higher. I don't know. We're still waiting. Let's see what the OBV is saying. The OBV is neutral right now. It's not saying much as of right now. So that is what is going on. Still anyone watching? If you have some questions, if I can answer something for you, it would be nice. Just go ahead, make your questions, and I try to answer them. No, because I start to understand this. I'm no guru. I'm not saying that I'm a guru and that I know exactly what is going on or what is going to happen in regards of the price and whatever. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that Bitcoin, or the ticker, or the markets, or whatever you want to call it, is it has a set of rules: support, resistance, Fibonacci sequence. That's all it needs. It doesn't need much more than this. So right now I'm trying to understand if we're going up a little bit, or if we're starting to dump. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Let's go to the Coinbase chart. No, because the good thing about this tool, if you understand the markets like I'm starting to understand them right now, all you have to do is to draw some fib circles, try to understand where it might start to move to one direction, because nothing is certain, because the ticker moves a lot. He moves a lot. It changes direction, it stops, and it moves baby steps. So prediction is something that is impossible, because it's like I said, there are many possibilities in the path of the ticker, between support and resistances, and avoiding one and avoiding the other. It always moves around, so it's impossible to predict it. You can't drive a pattern, because you have to continue to chart it all the time. That's the only way you can be on top, kind of what is going on. But you will never know. You'll never know what it's going to do. So that's what I think about all this. Let's go back. No, this is too much. All these sweep circles. It looks messy, man, but all this, it has an order, man. That's the most incredible part. They all have an order. Yeah, that's basically the Coinbase. No, but the reason that I actually wanted to come to this chart was because, yeah, I wanted to take a look at the OVV. Yeah, the OVVs, at least right now, there's a little bit of buying pressure, but we also have a strong support here as well. It was resistance, it dropped down, it became support. I don't believe it will be able to go above it, you know. It may try, but because it already tried, you know. It already tried. And it has been hovering around this level for a while. Because basically this was the unbreakable barrier, you know. It tried yesterday again to well, at least the bulls, they tried to bring it above 10K, but Bitcoin is not having it's not the bulls or the bears, it's the ticker. The ticker has a mind of its own, guys. I know many people may not believe it, but you know, I actually believe that everything was manipulated. But you know, the ticker, the AI, whatever you want to call it, it has a mind of its own. And if it doesn't want to do something, and if there is a strong resistance, it won't break it, man. That's what happened. Why? Because this is part of a cycle, and the cycle has a beginning and has an end, and this cycle is not predicted to have the 10K. That was not the cycle. That was the other cycle. The other cycle was the one that would. Damn, I got stopped. Fuck. Yeah, that's the problem. Dealing with underdecks, but you know, just have to be patient. What the fuck is going on? Come on. God damn it. Entonces, yep. Let's see what happens now. That computer's getting slow. Yep, we are waiting. The OBV is gaining momentum to the downside. So once again, let's see the bigger picture here. Let's go to the Bybit chart. It's better. It's less noise there. Yep. This is the pattern. This is the cycle, and it has to end down here. So it could end when we bring up the super trend. I have to collapse it all. Super trend to trend star. So this is the low. This is where we start to pump. 9,357. I believe we will retrace completely. Maybe even below, but we will have to see when it happens. So I don't know if, let me put a resistance line here. So I don't know if it's going to happen right now. If it's going to take time, it should take time because, yeah, the Americans are still asleep, although Asia is already awake for a while, so. So like we can see, the OBV is dropping like hell. It's dropping a lot. So that is signaling a major dumping coming. BSV, yep. I actually made some fib circles in there as well. But to be honest, I don't want to be in crypto right now because, you know, the stock market is about to collapse. I don't know when it will happen. But it will happen soon, rather sooner than later. So I really don't want to be in crypto because you know, the stock market is going down and Bitcoin is going to lose value, and BSV and all the other coins, man. You know, I like BSV, but the problem that we have right now in regards of BSV is in any other coin is the adoption, man. Because just an example, let's hope it doesn't happen. Let's say that the stock market collapses in the United States, and that they call what is it? And that the President of the United States, Donald Trump, calls for martial law. What will you be able to do with crypto? Man, nothing. You won't be able to buy food. You won't be able to buy nothing, guns, silver, whatever, man. What are you going to be able to pay with Bitcoin or or BSV or whatever, man. It's only for digital content. And if shit hits the fan, because people, I don't know if many of you were around when the stock market crashed in 2008, and the housing bubble just went off, and it was chaos. It was chaos for one day. There wasn't enough chaos because the Fed saved the day. They bailed out the banks. They foreclosed some others that merged with others, and they saved the day. But because of the extent and because of this corona shit, this coronavirus fake pandemic that actually happened, they stopped the world. And Canada is still stopped, They're still in lockdown in Canada. I don't know if, I guess in some states in the United States may still have some lockdowns. We in Portugal never had a major real lockdown. We could leave the streets, we could go out, but there was nothing to do. Everything else was closed, and most of the stuff is still closed. So we have to understand that most of the people that were laid off, they're in trouble. Most of them that own businesses, some are already in trouble, and some had already to foreclose because they couldn't have their stores open, and people underestimate these things. They don't understand the repercussions of closing the economy for one and a half, 2.5 months. People don't understand that, and just because the stock market continues to make highs like the Nasdaq, Jesus, man, it's not going to end well. If you're in the stock market, if you have stocks, if you have crypto, when this all is going to implode, man, none of it will save you, man. That's just the reality of stuff. So let me check out what's going on with the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq is at all-time highs. Do you fucking believe this? The Nasdaq is at all-time highs, despite of all the shit that is actually going on with the economy, the real economy, not the fake economy that these motherfuckers have. In the stock market and shit. Take a look at this, guys. How much longer can this be sustained? Even according to the Fibonacci, it's already kind of in the maximum zone. No, it's not in the maximum zone because theoretically, according to the Fibonacci channel circle rings, the Nasdaq still can go to 10,796, 11,550 in 48. It still can go to 12,156. It still can go to 12,465. It's very unlikely, but it's possible, It's very possible. No, you just have to take a look at it. This is a rising wedge, and this is not sustainable, man. Because if traders and anyone else actually believes that a rising wedge like that went and took out the all-time highs, can be sustained, they're just completely out of their minds, They're just completely out of their minds, guys. Yeah, this is, I guess this is the Fib channel, or the Pitchfork. Let me see if the Pitchfork or the Fib. So it's at maximum capacity in here. If it breaks it, it's going to the other levels that I was saying. But it's insane. It's insane. So in this kind of situation, people also want to take attention to silver, especially silver, Especially silver.
Silver was actually moving great. It hit $18 for about 3 or 4 or 5 years or more or whatever. And then it dumped when the stock market dumped as well, if I'm not mistaken. It went here. Or this is no. No, this can't be it. Because when the stock market dumped, yeah, silver went to $12, $11, man. And then it recovered like hell. So if the stock market crashes, everything will crash with it in the beginning. Even gold and silver, at least the paper trading. The rest of it, yeah, then that I want to see. But yeah, so it hit the 17. It went down. It was going up. So I don't know if it's going up, what it will do, because nobody knows that. Nobody knows what these markers are going to do. All we know is that it moves from ring to ring, ring to ring, ring to ring. It finds support, resistance. That's what it does. So let's go back to Bitcoin and see what's going on. So Bitcoin is not doing much right now. It's just basically just doing kind of circles or whatever. The 718 to 9738. So it's not doing much. Yeah, we can check out the futures as well. YM1. So this is the Dow Jones futures market. Yep, the futures is at a standstill as well. I actually draw the fib channels in here as well to see where it's at. Yep. So it just broke. It just broke this Fibonacci ring. So if it continues to go higher, it's exactly like the Nasdaq. If it continues to go higher, it will reach this ring here, 29,149. It can go to 31,48. It can go to 30,829. So that's the potential, the possibilities going up the rings. Still are a couple left. There's still a lot more left. So it can go really, really, really high if they they have the money to do so. But we will see. Check out crude. US oil. Kind of a downtrend right now as well. Although it has gained a lot, you know, from the lows. From potentially zero, but it wasn't zero. What was it? 10, 11 bucks? No, it was the low, yeah. It was even lower than that. So the low that oil did, WTI crude oil, was, it must be the one that actually went negative, went to 6 cents. It's now at $37, man. Unbelievable. Completely unbelievable shit. It went negative, man. It actually went negative. So these markets are all a scam, man. It's all fucking bullshit. Of course, we're all chasing the money, but it's all fucking bullshit, man. Digital illusions of wealth, man. Money doesn't give happiness to nobody. It helps, but it doesn't give you happiness. Most of the people that have more money are depressed like fuck, you know. So that's the reality for you. Yep, I guess it will take a bit longer. I'm not going to stay and wait for it. Maybe I'll come back live when the dump starts, because it's still early, man. I guess we're just waiting for the Americans. So we have to wait. We have to wait. Yeah, I need to make some trading, man. Need to make some trades. Yeah, no, it's not going to work like that. So, later guys.